I just bought, downloaded and played the new Warhammer 40,000 Boltgun. I thought I'd jump on and give my initial thoughts. I'm going to try and keep in mind I only paid £17 for this game, and it's by no means a AAA title. It's more of a fan service or niche game produced with what I can only imagine is the 40k fans in mind, and I'll talk you through why. This game has a very 90s Doom style theme, acting on that weapon only visual, multi-layered however linear level design, and a selection of mobs that require different weaponry to take them down. Now, for a true 40k fan, progressing through the levels and unlocking the different weapons will be an absolute treat, and surviving the absolute chaos and waves of enemies while you cut them down with the galaxy's most fearsome weaponry will be nothing short of boner inspiring. The boosters and power-ups don't make much sense in the game though, however, so make sure that you've got a weapon equipped that you prefer to use before picking one up because it only applies to that weapon. You get to run around as the semi-invincible space marine you always wanted to be, smashing the absolute giblets out of anything that gets in your way. For somebody who likes the 40k universe for 17 quid, this is a few hours of nostalgic gameplay to really sink your teeth into, but that's where the value ends. I'll be honest with you, after 2 hours of playing the game, I got really bored. The story is delivered to you via the dialogue box in the top left hand side of your screen. The dialogue box disappears most of the time before you get a chance to read it, and as far as I can tell there's no way of going back and rereading the dialogue that was given to you. It kinda makes the story nonsensical and a bit pointless. With no actual dialogue for our main character and no other characters to bounce off of, and the Inquisitor that we saw in the beginning of the game, we don't see for another 2 hours or so, and I don't know if you actually see them again. I'm just 2 hours into the game and I haven't seen her again. It all feels a bit empty. Outside of the visuals and the mechanics of the weapons working, there doesn't seem to be much 40k in there. There's no map, so sometimes the level designs can really work to your disadvantage, and you forget where you are and where you're going. This can make some of the levels really frustrating. Also, a lot of the levels look very similar, so getting yourself turned around is not that difficult. There's no voiceovers for anything either, adding to the emptiness of the game. Adding in some voice cues or some sound effects or maybe some trash talking from the opponents, it would have spiced up the game a little bit to feel a bit more purposeful. Instead, we've got enemies that make hardly any noise at all apart from when you blow them to pieces and their guts spill all over the floor. And again, that really feels empty and devoid of any real risk, reward or danger. Death just means that you spawn back to the last checkpoint and try again. It all just seems a bit vapid. Now don't get me wrong, I'm a massive 40k fan. Having owned Space Wolves, Eldar and Imperial Guard armies in the past, I still to this day love the lore of the game. However, even for me, 2 hours in, I was bored. I haven't really seen a boss yet. The only challenging part of the game was when hordes of enemies were sent out at the same time. The lack of dialogue or storytelling just really switched me off. But I did enjoy the 2 hours I played it. So is it worth the 17 quid? In all honesty, I think they priced it too high. If I'd have paid £10 for the game, I would be happy. Unfortunately, it's too late for me to get a refund. Take it for what it is, a 90s remake of Doom with different skins, different weapons and different monsters, but all of the same problems. It's a nostalgic piece that's okay to pick up and play for an hour, but it's not something I'd dedicate any long time to. I'll probably finish it just before I've bought it and paid for it, but it's not something I'll be rushing back to, which is a shame. Now I'll put the first hour and 40 minutes of me playing the game up so you can see and watch it for yourself. But don't worry, there's no camera or voiceover or anything like that, it's just raw gameplay. And I'll put a card at the top for you to click on, and I'll put a link in the description. In short, a nostalgia trip for 40k fans, but if you're not a 40k fan, you're probably not going to like it, and no one is going to find value in the price tag. That's it from me, and until next time, bye bye.